Okay. All right. Okay. I'm here. All right. Calm down. God. So demanding. I want to be here. But you keep demanding. And it pushes me further away.
Jemma Bayley reviews everything ever.
Hello and welcome to Jemma Bayley Reviews Everything Ever. It is me, Jemma Bayley. I'm here, reviewing everything ever. How you going? I'm going well. We're back. Hi. Hello. Every week we do this. I sit in a little room and I tell you my thoughts and feelings on everything ever. And I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're here to witness this. Because it's quite crazy for me to just sit in a room and talk about things with what if I did this, right? I was doing this, I was singing in a room and I was being like, onion. What if I was just singing in a room and I was like, onions are weird, and these are the reasons why, and they go into deep detail about why onions are weird. And then but there's no camera? Isn't that so much weirder? So in a way, this is actually very sane, I tell myself, when I think about it too deeply. So I want to start on some Instagram reviews. We have a review for elevator music, which is an awesome one. Brendan, great review idea. Elevator music is meant to feel like an ambiance to a place. It's not meant to be sung along to. In fact, if elevator music was sing alongable to, then it would just be like borderline karaoke. I can't have that in my commute time. Elevator music being ambient and I had no stressful trying to think of like whatever. That's good. That's a fun time. Oh, like hold music. Like when you're on the phone. When you're on the phone, that hold music, sometimes it has lyrics, sometimes it doesn't. Have you noticed that? Just some of it sounds like elevator music, if I'm honest, which annoys me because I'm like, there's something about being on the phone that makes me not like the elevator music feel, but on the phone, I want music I can sing to because it's kind of like, if I'm going to be here, I might as well do an activity. In an elevator, you're usually thinking about stuff that you need to go do. While you're on the phone, you're kind of like you're doing a thing. You're currently in the process of doing a thing and you can't be thinking of all the things you're going to do because like someone's going to interrupt you in a second. They're going to be like, hi, what can I do for you? And and they're Irish. Hello, what can I do for you? Is that an Irish accent? I used to be able to do one. I forgot. I still haven't hung up my phone. I left this here because I thought I'm still waiting. Yeah, because we're waiting for someone to interrupt us. So having something to sing along to totally makes sense of that scenario. However, in an elevator, I'm thinking about getting out of the elevator, where I'm going, what I'm doing. I'm probably getting stuff up on my maps. Like you do not want to be like singing to Cher while you're getting. This is why I can't stand when comedian, like when they do stand-up comedy in dining spaces, because I'm like, or people are eating while comedy's happening, because eating requires a certain amount of attention and comedy does as well. So like when you combine the two, people think, oh yeah, dining and comedy, it'll be great. Not really. Also, like, I want to make you laugh like impulsively, which means food will be spat. Actually, if I can get someone to spit food, that's my whole year done. I'm happy. I'm a happy chappy. Elevator music. I put this here as a bit. I did. I put this here for as a bit, and I thought, yeah, I'll come back to that later. It's a callback. I'm mad at myself. I put this here because I was going to call back to it, and then I forgot about it, and now I've forgotten what the callback is. But I guess that's the callback. They hung up on me. Oh my God, I can't believe it. Being hung up on by imaginary people. How rude. What does that say about your psyche? That tells me that my psyche, it's either that my psyche has a sense of humor or I hate myself. Like, that means that me hung up on me. That's so rude. Don't me realize how important me life is? Yeah. And of course you have like, like instrumental tracks where it's like the song, but it's just the instrumental. That's kind of what elevator music reminds me of. Where do they get it? Nah, it feels like something that like you would hire some people to do. A guitarist who needs a little bit more cash on the side. They're like, hey, we have this project for this corporation. Do you want to make them some elevator music? And he's like, oh, I guess I will sell my soul to the man. And you know what? We all need cash. And I hope whoever designed the elevator music uses that money to pursue their other interest. Guys, necessary evils. As much as like I hate capitalism in that capacity, you gotta eat. You gotta pay rent. So elevator music. I'm giving elevator music, I'm giving it a 2. Because it's as elevator music as a concept is something that shouldn't really be like you should be made aware of it. And if you're made aware of it, then it's good music, which defeats the purpose of it being elevator music. So either way, it's not meant to be. It's not meant to be. It's not meant to be there. It's to take your mind off the concept that you're in a little metal box that you don't fully understand how it works and you're a little bit worried about it dropping. That's what the music is designed. That's why it's calming. That's why it's repetitive. That's why it makes you feel like no time has passed. It's so that you're just like getting through it. They should only ever have heavy metal in elevators, because it is heavy metal, you know? Like genre to genre. It should only be heavy metal in elevators. And if you're ever in a hot air balloon, it should be pop. It shouldn't be pop. No, it should not be pop. It should be hot hits. Thank you for that review. I've thoroughly enjoyed that. That's my vibe, guys, by the way. If I'm asking for reviews on Instagram and you're looking to give me reviews, give me stuff like that. I love that. Sam has asked me to review pockets. Oh my god. I thought I had a pocket on the front of this. I just realized I have a different set of overalls. I have a pocket here. I was just gonna be like, it'd be like, Sam has asked me to review pockets, and then go like this to be like pockets. I'm not looking forward to playing that back. That's gonna be really weird. Sam has asked me to review pockets. I use them. We all use them, don't we? What is a pocket if not a little spot to put a thing? It's kind of like a pouch. What's the difference between a pocket and a pouch? I guess a pouch is a type of pocket when you think about it. I can't believe this, but I'm just going to really quickly Google what a pocket is, because I feel like I've seen, like back in the day, in the like when women were wearing like the skirts with the multi layers, I've come across those sorts of things on videos and TikToks and stuff where they talk about they would have a little pouch that they would tie around their waist, and that would kind of act as the pocket on the dress. They'd like stick it through, and then part of the dress would be able to be opened so it would stop people pickpocketing you. But I don't know if the pocket is when it's sewn into a garment, or if the pocket is the separate thing and you can just have pockets in garments. Do pockets exist without clothes? What do you think? Hold on. Let's go. Because you can get pizza pockets. You can get pita pockets. You can get pockets of they're standalone pockets. So I don't see why a pocket can't just be a thing that exists as its own. And then if a pocket is just that, is that not just a bag? Or is a bag is a pocket a type of bag and a pouch a type of bag? A pouch is a type of bag. So what's the difference between a pouch and a pocket? I feel like a pouch is bigger. A pocket is fundamentally a small pouch. I really don't think I'm smart, but sometimes I'm just think, am I just dumb and saying obvious things and then reading those obvious things off of the internet? That sounds about right. I think that's what's happening. Most commonly sewn into or onto clothing. Yeah, here we go. All right. Well, we didn't need to do this. We didn't need it. It's for, and it says for small items like money or keys, and that makes sense. And hey, how do I feel about that? Great. I want to say that pockets are right up there with sliced bread. I want to say that they're right up there with we all use them. Pockets are a great time. I wish I had one right now. The only time I can think of a bad pocket is like when, I don't know, medically, when they talk about, oh, there's a pocket of, when like there's a lining and there's a hole in it, and then because of that, like it gets infected and there's a pocket. That's the only time I can think of a pocket being bad. I'm I'm upset I mentioned it now that I think about it. We're always going on about wanting more in dresses. Although sometimes I'm just gonna say this. So you throw this out here because I know that a lot of people get really excited about pockets and dresses. Guys, there's a massive portion of people who get, in fact, almost every woman, we all are like, this is an amazing dress. And it has pockets, and that gets us excited. However, I'm just going to say this really quietly because I'm scared of what other women are going to say to me. I don't always like my dresses having pockets. Oh, don't. I'm so scared. Maybe I should edit this out. No, I just mean I put things in pockets and then I kind of forget about them. Or if they're there, they like sometimes you can see the seam of them through the dress, and like I would be like, I prefer if that dress in particular, because some dresses for me are not about being comfortable. They're about looking good, and those dresses I don't want pockets in. In fact, I want no pockets so I can say to the person I'm with, you're holding this. Because I don't have pockets. It's like, it's a dainty time. That's what I want sometimes. I want a dainty time. I have no pockets. I have no inhibition. I am being taken away on a fun adventure. That's the vibe of not having pockets for me. Dudes have pockets. Lesbians have pockets. Fun fact, depending on the amount of pockets a lesbian has, you can tell how many previous partners she's had. That's not a thing. That's carabiners, actually. If she has a bunch of carabiners, you stay away. That's a lesbian slut right there. So pockets. They're all good. They're all good. I'm giving them a 4. They're pretty solid. Thank you, Sam. Well, we got to do a phrase. Okay, we're doing a phrase. Okay, this phrase is a phrase that I don't use often, but when I think of phrases, I think of this one. A bird in the hand is worth 2 in the bush. Contextually, we all understand what it means. It means it's better to have the thing that you have physically than the multitude of imagined things that you could have. It's similar to the don't count your eggs before they hatch sort of scenario. So let's quickly look that up because I'm pretty sure that's what it means. Sorry, what? A bird in the bush is worth 2 in the hand. A bird? No, yeah, it's a bird. I wrote it backwards. Oh, dyslexia. You strike again. I said it before the right. Did I? I said it before the right way around, didn't I? Bird in the bush worth 2 in the hand. Anyway, yeah, because I did the motion. I'm a visual, but I did the motion to bring my mind to the place. It's better to hold onto a certainty, something you already possess, rather than risk losing it by pursuing something better that is uncertain. So it's a saying for cowards. Personally, I'm not like a big, oh God, this is a weird one, because I don't really believe in this phrase that much. You know, it's, I thought for a second that I thought it was about being grateful for what you have, but I'm starting to realize that it's actually about not risking things too much. Certainty and possibility. The bird in the hand represents a sure thing. The 2 in the bush represent potential gains that are tempting but not guaranteed. I don't know why can't you hold on to the bird and then chase the ones in the bush? I got 2 hands. What if there's 2 birds in the bush? I've already got a bird. Why don't I just like try and grab a second bird? I mean, the third, like, I'm not going to be greedy about it. The third one can just leave. But then I've got 2 birds in the hand. This is why I have my own podcast, guys. Some energy drink sponsor me. I need them for the podcast. And you need me for my hundreds of subscribers. Hey, there's almost 2,000 of you on YouTube now. How crazy is that? What are you all doing over there? Are you actually listening? If you're actually listening, can you comment on this video? You don't have to say anything like profound. You can just be like, I'm here. I just want to know how many of you are listening because I have no concept of what's going on. I don't know if you've noticed this from the everything about the podcast, but I don't know what's happening. Yeah, guys, I'm not liking this phrase actually at all. You know me, I love a phrase that has some visualization, and that's usually what they have because, like, this is how we as humans connect. But this one makes me feel a little bit like, hey, don't do that. Like, just stick to what you know, sort of thing, which I'm not like, just not the biggest fan of as a person. My whole life has been like, I'm going to go try that. And people being like, yeah, but what if it doesn't work? And I'm like, oh, well, then it doesn't work, and then we'll start again. Like, nothing in this world is too, like, losing a job isn't a big deal. I mean, it is a big deal, but, like, if you are confident in yourself and you are working hard to develop a skill set, and then you've become, like, a very grounded person, whatever happens to you will be fine. Like, that's the thing that you fall back on, not the job. You got the job because you are that person. Maybe just have a little bit of faith. God, that doesn't sound like something I have saying to myself. Like, just the discipline and actions that you do will spur you on into something that is similar to what you have now. So even if you lose a thing, it's probably going to come back in a different way. The phrase has existed in various forms for centuries, with origins often linked to medieval falconry, where a trained bird in the hand was a viable asset compared to wild prey. That's a different element. That makes more sense. Having a trained bird in the hand is worth more than 2 wild birds. Yeah, I can get behind that phrase. Yeah, but that's a completely different phrase. I like that because that insinuates that with devotion to something meaningful, it can become something quite big. You know, it's kind of like if I have a car and it's a good car and I use it all the time. It's better than having 2 jet skis. Two jet skis is stupid because, like, that's fun, but, like, how often are you going to use them? And they're jet skis. Like, no one's doing their morning commute on jet ski. And if you are, what a fun life you live. And you've got 2 of them. That implies that you can bring a friend. I like that as a historical context, but that's completely changed. If this phrase was the falconry one, I probably would be a little bit more like, this is a good phrase. But because it's turned into this piss poor, weak, pansy ass, a bird in the hand is worth 2 in the bush. And people being like, yeah, so you should have what you have and not strive for something uncertain. Everything's uncertain. I think I just like falconry. I just think it's like an interesting concept to have a little guy run off and get stuff for you. I'm just talking about having like a personal assistant. Hey guys, this is probably one of the first phrases I'm going to say I don't like as like a teaching mechanism for people, as a cautionary. I like the imagery though. I like the falconry. I like the historical context one. If that was the phrase, I probably would like it. It'd probably be a 4, but because it's this, which is kind of, I'm giving it a 2. That's what you get for not trying. It's like it's just telling people not to try. I don't like that. Get out of here. No. Bird in the hand's worth 2 in the bush. Get out of here with that. Get out of here. We're going to review Flash animations. Can you remember this? Can you guys? Okay, so for like back in the day, it was part of the Adobe suite, but like it was the first time people were making animations from home by themselves and putting them on the internet, and like people were getting like YouTubers were getting big from making Flash animations. It was a lot of absolute crap. It was just basically memes turned into animations. Then Flash animation is named after the program, but the Flash animation kind of became synonymous with just online animations. So you have Nyan Cat, which is like a I think it's actually done. It looks like it's done in Photoshop because it's that pixel art. And then you have things like Tom Scar. He made that series that was like a series. I think it's the Laser Collection. It's just vocal stim after vocal stim that millennials use. There was like the Badger song, like Badger, 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 Badger. It's as that era of animation that was just unbridled crap. It was something that me and my sister used to go, it was looking for. It was so much fun. We would laugh for ages because it's just like dumb internet crap. There's still animators today doing that sort of stuff. I think I subscribe to Dominic Comics. I used to do them as well. I used to do little flash animations, and I used to get like cute little likes on it, and it used to make me really happy. I did get into animation because I liked doing animations. Now that I know how hard it is to make, I just don't anymore. I'm not going to say that they're good. They scream amateur animator. However, in the right hands, there's some gorgeous stuff coming out of that program. There's some incredible artists. You can kind of just tell what's flash animation by the style of it, because it's got that kind of like painty sort of like line art and cell shading that kind of it looks, it's all like cartoonified sort of vibe. So animating these days a little bit more seriously are doing it in Toon Boom, Cell Action, those sorts of like puppeting programs, or they're doing like a straight ahead animation in an illustration program. This got really deep. I didn't expect flash animation to get so... I was just going to make a bunch of reference like, I'm a firing my laser, and or like, you're a stupid little baby, man. I'm not a stupid little baby. Yes, you are. No, I'm not. Like, I was just going to do that, but like, it's deep. Like, it's the start. It was fan driven. It was full of fandom art. It was full of like people from the grassroots of YouTube coming into their actual like, guys, this is a big deal. It's like a history lesson. But flash animation, yeah, it does scream amateur because of the nature that it was like kind of the first program that anyone could afford. So anyone was doing it. You'd have the worst of the worst animations, crude and gross and all that sort of stuff. But you'd also have quite cool stuff coming out from creatives that would usually not have access to that sort of stuff. So I like it. It was a program for the people, and the people responded with absolute crap with little gems inside. Because ultimately, when you throw a bunch of shit at the wall, some stuff's gonna stick. Actually, there was this flash animation about it was like Pokemon. It was like Ash was massive, and there was a Pikachu, and he's like, Pikachu, use your Thunderbolt, and he's like, Pika-poo, and then like he hits his knee, and he's like, oh fuck, and he's like, oh Pikachu, and he's like, oh my fucking knee. Like the first time I saw that, it was just well animated. It was funny, and it was just like the first time I was like, that was done in Flash. Wow, I think it's done in Flash. It looks really good. Who's that chick who does all the kind of informational ones? She has birds and her hair flicks out like that. Who is that? I like her. I feel like it's Jaden. That's who I'm thinking of. Jaden Animations. She does like the stories. I really like her. It's not the best for me working in it. It was hard. Easy to pick up, hard to get to look good, unfortunately. So I'm gonna go 4. I'm gonna go with solid 4 because for me it was the start of something, and it's still something you can pick up. It's the animation program of the people, and I can't be mad at that. It's still just a 4 though. It's not 5. It's a 4. I'm going to review ferrets, or as I like to call them, long angry mice. No, they're not long egg. I don't even know where they come from. Are they American? Foxes are American and English. Ferrets, I feel like ferrets are from England because it's like that whole rodent family thing going on over there. But you never see them in woodland sort of depictions. So where do ferrets come from? Or are ferrets one of those things that we made? Did we just get like a mouse and keep breeding it with really long mice? Ferrets, spaghetti mice, I've seen people put those ferrets in macaroni, and I'm like, I don't know why, but that makes sense. I'm like, they would like to be covered in macaroni. Small domesticated species belonging to the family Mustelidae is most likely a domesticated form of wild. Most likely? Do they not know? Ferret is most likely a domesticated form of wild European pole rat, as evidenced by the ferret's ability to interbreed with European pole cats and produce hybrid offspring. Do we not know? This is the eel thing. You know how we don't know where eels have babies or whatever? Have you heard of this? The whole concept of like, hey guys, just so you know, we don't know how eels are eels. It's the same with ferrets. Like, we don't know where ferrets come from. We assume that we bred them for some reason. But what does a polecat look like? Oh, well, yeah. Sorry. I just Googled polecat and it gave me a picture of a ferret. And they're like, we think that the domesticated versions of this thing, it's the same thing. They're like, no offense, but if it looks like shit and tastes like shit, that's not the same. What's the saying? If it looks like, is that the saying? It's not. It's not if it looks like shit and tastes like shit. If it looks like shit and tastes like shit, it's shit. Why are you tasting shit? It's not that. Is it looks like shit, smells like shit? Must be shit. I have to taste it to find out. We think they came from polecats, and I'm like, no shit. Like, no shit. If I saw a chihuahua and you said that might come from a wolf, I understand you, but you can't get like a husky and tell me that may have been a wolf. I'll be like, yeah, because yeah, I see that, yeah. Actually, it's not even that. It's like getting a wolf and saying we think this wolf came from a wolf. Sorry, if you have time, Google ferret, then Google European polecat. Yeah, now tell me, are they not the same guy? You know what that is? That is someone who's fled the cops. That's a fugitive, and he's just gotten a new passport. And he's just gone to America and been like, I'm a different guy. And everyone's like, well, check. Hey, that other guy, he's European. This guy, he's got a different accent. Must be. It's like he just turned up with a mustache. I'm a different guy. I'm a different guy altogether. Stupid. Ferrets and European polecats are extremely close, really closely related, often considered the same species. With ferrets being the domesticated subspecies, we diminish them have been bred for different environments for thousands of years. Are the environments that different? They look exactly the same. While they can interbreed, they differ in social behaviors, appearance, and domestication status. One's angry and one's not. One's angry because it's outside, and the other one gets fed food and played macaroni. And you wonder why they're different? Humans are the problem. I like ferrets. I'm pretty sure we're not allowed them in Australia. We have a lot of things in Queensland where we're not allowed, like rabbits and reptiles and ferrets, and it's to protect the ecosystem of Queensland and our natural flora and fauna. I totally get it. Ferrets are strictly prohibited as pets in Queensland under the Biosecurity Act 2014. Yeah, because what if they got out? They would become feral and then maybe develop a poisonous spike, because that's what happens in Australia. And then you'd have ferrets that could, I don't know, fly and pierce you, and then you would die. Imagine that. Imagine a flying ferret that had talons that stung you, and then you could get poisoned and die. It's the whole drop bear thing. Did you know? Have you heard of this? So drop bears are like a version of koalas that went kind of rogue. And if you walk out into the bush, you've got to be careful. Make sure it is actually a koala and not a drop bear, because a drop bear could actually drop on you and kill you. If you're visiting Australia, just be aware that that's what happens if you let a species go feral. And that's why we have the Biosecurity Act. A lot of people don't know that. A lot of people don't know that the Biosecurity Act is actually in place to prevent another drop bear scenario. It's very serious. Ask if you know an Australian, ask them about it. It's actually it's very sad, but almost every Australian has a story about drop bears. We don't talk about it a lot because it's an academic. It's an epidemic. That's all I'm going to say about drop bears, because I've got some stories I don't want to talk about. Ferrets. Okay, all right. Let's go. I can't have them. I've never seen one, so I can't. I don't know why, but I think they're stinky. I feel like someone's told me they're stinky, and I've looked at them and I'm like, that would be a stinky creature. But they're so cute. I really think they're cute. So we're giving ferrets a 3. So how did I do? No, I'm just kidding. I don't care. You don't review me. I review you. The only time you review. When's the only time we review? When you give me 5 stars. Go. Give me 5 stars, please. Go get them. Bring them back here. Give me the 5 stars. It helps. Send the podcast to your friends. Please get me famous. I don't know if you can tell, but I'd be really good at it. Oh, and if you want to send me a review, please email gemmabaileycomedy@gmail.com. I'll review it. Just send me a thing. Send me a movie even. I've been watching a lot of movies. Like, I didn't even review the drama. We'll catch it another time.